I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens as they match up with Ryan Finley and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we've got an AFC North tilt here, and this is a division coming into 2019 where maybe you're saying, is there a changing at the guard at the top?
And if so, could it be a team that possibly we haven't talked about in a long time? Could it be the Cleveland Browns? Because they are the trendy pick right now with the young quarterback Baker Mayfield, the acquisition of Odell Beckham Jr., and so many other great moves that they've made along the way. Can they now move to the top of the leaderboard ahead of Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati? They believe they can.
Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather, and we are underway from Cincinnati. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. First go-around coming up here for Baltimore's offense, and that man Lamar Jackson, who may have ratcheted up some of the MVP talk.
MVP.
You starting to coronate already?
Hey, why not? If I'm a Baltimore fan, I would.
Well, that was a heck of a game, heck of a win against New England. And you talk about Lamar Jackson specifically, 163 yards and a touchdown, and 2 more scores running the football.
And the best part about what he does now, because it's on tape, we've seen all the highlight reel plays that he makes. We know the quickness. It makes you change what you do in preparation for him. New England is principally a man coverage team on defense. When you play Lamar Jackson, the last thing you want to be is in a lot of man-to-man coverage with his ability to run the football. Now you got to go to a lot more zones, hoping to slow him down. That opens things up for others.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Well, everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's a give to the right. Ingram. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 43. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Jackson from the shotgun. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. On paper coming in, you'd say that these guys are the better team by far, and they sort of showed their superiority there on the opening drive.
Yeah, they came in the heavy favorite in this game, and even though they're on the road, they just wiped it away, didn't they? They've just said to everyone, we're the better team. We just showed it to you on this opening drive, and we expect to do it all game long.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Bengals under first-year head coach Zach Taylor. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, kid from North Carolina State, the 4th-round pick, Ryan Finley. Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
They're not ready for this. They still go.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Ready.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Finley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on third down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. So on fourth down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And taken right at the 35. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore's offense takes the field again. Charles, they are at 6-2 after that win against New England. 2-game lead over suddenly a resurgent Pittsburgh Steelers team, and they get to see them again the final week of the season. But what does that win over New England tell you about Baltimore's chances in the AFC?
It tells you a lot. The main thing it tells you is that this is a team that's not going to shy away from the spotlight, not going to be intimidated by New England and all their Super Bowls and, you know, what they've done this season. But I really enjoyed watching them post-game. You know, watching how they handled it. Yes, it was a big win, and they didn't downplay that, but they also didn't treat it like it's a Super Bowl either. They know they've got work to do, and they figure they'll have to meet New England again in the playoffs.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Draw play. Ingram now. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. From the gun, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's got this down to the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. For Lamar Jackson, his first NFL start came against the Cincinnati Bengals November 18th in Baltimore of last year. And he threw for 150 yards, ran for 119 more as the Ravens won 24-21 to kick off what became a 6-1 final stretch that got him the AFC North title. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Big Andrew Billings there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Jackson now. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check 26, check 26.
On the draw, this is Ingram. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd down, Ingram. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. That's complete, right around the 8. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Tucker's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and excited
rare.
is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
I have to admit I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On second down, Bernard. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
While the Bengals struggled in 2018, running back Joe Mixon certainly did not. Over 1,100 yards running the ball, caught 43 passes. Expect both of those numbers to continue to climb in his years in the NFL.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. On third down, Finley. Open man, Erickson. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Ready. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie. Right. Snap.
Finley setting up on first down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Let's go to the middle of the Baltimore defense where Brandon Williams holds court. And we often talk about how difficult it is to stop a big-time runner. How about trying to stop a big-time guy in the middle who wreaks havoc both with pass rush and against the run? Brandon Williams went to his first Pro Bowl at the end of the 2018 season.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He completes it to Boyd. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Set, ready, 8, read. You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna shoot.
To throw on third down, Finley. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson, and that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Alex Erickson deep for Cincinnati. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Ready. 48. Hey, we don't make the 48 right now. Let's go. Watch the fly. Watch the fly. Watch the fly. Watch the fly. Watch the fly.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Patrick Owasor gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Nothing the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they face a difficult 3rd and 12 coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Thomas barreling ahead. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Jackson, option right. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
They'll run on first down. Ingram. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All day, dog. Tight right, tight right. 4 down, check.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Jackson, that's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
We want it. Come to my work.
Now Bernard. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Know your job. 58's the money. 58.
Finley now on 2nd down. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A 1st down throw for Finley. He gets this one to Boyd. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Bernard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. 3rd and short yardage. Finley. And Tate's got it. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 32-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Come on, QB.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Joe Mixon. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Ready. 18 Gators. Let's go.
And they'll try to throw now. Finley over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now the Bengals on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Finley from the gun on third down. He's got his man, Boyd. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, Finley. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Auden Tate there to make the grab as they are now on the board here in the first half. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And that'll make it 13-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss. But with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Jackson operating from the gun, sliding out of the pocket. He'll run it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. It's caught by Roberts. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here, 2nd and a yard from the 34. Finley on play action. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzama, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Returnable for Thomas. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. This is Ingram. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition in practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Jackson on first down, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. Throwing again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes the field goal team once more. This from 54 yards away. Tucker's kick is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So we come upon halftime, and what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Play action now. Here's Finley. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Patrick Owasor. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Finley here, 3rd and long. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Jackson options out left. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Come get some. Come get some.
He's got his man. This is Tate. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here's Thomas. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On 3rd down, Jackson rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin here with Bernard. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second down, Finley. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Finley. Open man, Erickson. That's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Finley now, 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. They run the counter. Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the 2nd half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Ready, 30 base. 58, right there. I'm trying to collect. Ready.
Jet sweep. Boyd with it. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Finley. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8.
Let's go.
And now here come the Ravens. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw. They'll roll him out right. Breaks through the contact, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. It's our time. It's our time.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
Here's Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Check 52's the mic. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Quick throw taken in by Snead. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, Look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Able to push his way through, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mixon. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. This will be fielded at the 17. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Ravens taking the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, it's Jackson, and his throw here is incomplete. Well, hey, we talked about the AFC playoff picture. Let's look at the NFC. That's a different story. You've got Dallas and Philly neck and neck in the East, then Green Bay, New Orleans, and San Francisco as division leaders. But with only 2 more wild card spots, going to be some good teams left out in the cold in January.
Yeah, because right now you got Seattle at 7-2, Minnesota 6-3. They would be in as of right now. But the Rams 5-3. Carolina, and whoever doesn't win the East out of either Dallas or Philadelphia, this is going to be a heck of a battle, isn't it? People are going to have an effect on this conference. with every game that's played, maybe even teams that aren't in the conference. Because if you lose to someone, anyone, it could knock you out of the race.
Ingram again, and an alley to run. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson, option right, and an alley to run. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Ready? 5, 9. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come. Sponge.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, and an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. These RPOs are all part of the new Baltimore offensive scheme. They changed coordinators in the offseason, and the thought was to utilize more run-pass options to take advantage of the versatile skill set of Lamar Jackson. Remember, they revamped things last year midseason when Jackson became the starter and then did more of a full overhaul after the coaching change this summer. But Jackson will tell you that kept he and his offensive mates busy. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They run. It's Mark Ingram. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And this is caught at the 8. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as the Ravens push further out in front. And, boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show you heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first down throw for Finley. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Finley. That's complete. Bernard. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Mike 48, Mike 48.
Finley from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
It's a party now.
4th down, Finley. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, it's Ingram, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Here's Finley, and he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Finley, over the middle, complete. It's Erickson, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Clear. Give me that ball, defense. Defense.
1st down, Finley. His throw incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
To throw on 3rd down, Finley. And Tate's got it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Finley sets to throw on 1st down. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
I'm coming after you.
Get it.
Finley one more time. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Morgan. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Let's go, baby.
To the air again, Finley. And that will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Finley on 4th down. And it is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. On the counter, Ingram. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Ingram. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Let's go. Get on the base. Rip right. Shut up.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Ingram, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
On second down, Ingram. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So we've seen this before. He's made 6 already, and now he'll try to become just one of a handful of men to make 7 in a game. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Bengals getting set to go. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Finley. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And he'll get them inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. 14 yards. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now Tucker to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And out now, here come the Bengals. Finley going to lead the Bengals up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Ready?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. 2nd down, Finley. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? The quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviewers are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the fourth with their lead. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get them about 5 yards.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Let's go.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Jackson, options out left. 12 yards there and a first down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. They'll run here with Ingram. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Finley. He completes it to Boyd. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
48. Get it. Go.
On third down, Finley. On the screen, Bernard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first doon.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Finley to throw for it on 4th down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. He'll have a first down inside the 10. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Ingram. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.